Hi, thanks for buying from the Pamphlet store and congratulations on your new pamphlet. The pamphlet that you have purchased is a 15 pipes beginner's pamphlet. It should look like this one. It is a tunable pamphlet, which means that each pipe has a small cork, small plastic cork inside that you can push to change the tuning of each pipe, which allows you to change the tuning of the whole instrument. So this set includes a tuning stick, which is a stick with marks with small dots on it that you should have received with your order too. So each of these dots, there are 15, each of them corresponds to each pipes. It says G4 because G4 is the lowest note from your pipe, from your pamphlet. This one, the longest one, is a G4 note. And as you can see, it matches the first dot. So if we keep going, you're going to realize that each dot corresponds to each pipe. Should be about in the middle of each pipe. So for tuning your pamphlet, it is recommended that every time that you're going to play your pamphlet, you check that it is properly tuned, because sometimes with movement or the weather may change slightly the tuning. So we always want to make sure that it's properly tuned so we can play our music properly. So you're going to need, for tuning your pamphlet, you are going to need a tuning device. You don't necessarily need to purchase one of those. You can also use a cell phone app. There are many good tuning apps. You can also, there are some online websites that offer online tuning. I'm going to put some of those on the description of this video. So first we need to, it is also important to know that for us to make sure that we are getting the proper note, we need to be blowing the pipe correctly. So since you are learning to play the pan flute, it might take some time for you to find the proper way to blow it. But one small trick that you can try is that you can push the middle of the pipe to your lower lips, like this. You don't need to press it too hard, just slightly. And another important thing to consider is that you need to control the airflow. So when you blow the pipe, I want you to be aware of the airflow that is coming out of your mouth, and you need to make sure to control it to go inside, down the pipe. So press it to your lower lip, control the airflow. Another thing to consider is that the smaller pipes are a little bit more difficult to play than the long ones, because the diameter is smaller. So you might find difficult to play those. What you can do is to tighten your embouchure. So as you can see, I am pressing the pipe to my lower lips, but I'm not tightening my lips. So my embouchure is kind of loose when I'm playing the long pipes. When you play the smaller pipes, you will have to tighten your embouchure. Okay. So having said that, now let's make sure that we blow each pipe and we get the correct note from each of them. So it starts on G4. That's a G. that's an F sharp. So you need to do this for each pipe. The marks should indicate where you should position the cork, so that is going to help. But for example, let's say that this pan flute is tuned G major, which means that it has F sharps instead of the natural F. But let's say that you want to change the tuning and to change the F sharp to natural F. So in that case, we would go to the F sharp pipe and push the cork down. We push it down and then we try. And that way you can change any of the notes you want if you want to play a song that is on a different key. So now I'm returning the cork to its normal position. Push it from the lower part, and then I make sure that it matches my dot. This one. F sharp. So those are the mechanics of tuning the pan flute. Having a tunable pan flute can be really helpful. I receive a lot of musicians, of people that purchased non-tunable pan flutes from different parts of the world, and for different reasons. So bamboo is very susceptible to weather. That's something very important to know. So avoid leaving the pan flute in a place that it can be exposed to extreme weathers, such as your car, the trunk, a closet. Try to keep the instrument on its case in a place where you can make sure that it's like a normal temperature. So when that happens, when there's extreme temperature, the bamboo might contract and the tuning might change. So there are some people that contact me asking me how they can tune their pan flutes when it is not tunable, and what you do then is that you use beeswax. There are other things that you can do, but the proper thing to do is to use beeswax to tune it back to normal. It's a little bit tricky and difficult. That is why I always recommend to get a tunable pan flute. You can always make sure that you can tune it back yourself to normal. And another thing is that so to play accidentals from a pan flute, you need to tilt it. F sharp, F natural F. So that can be a little bit tricky if you're learning to play the pan flute. There are many people that want to buy pan flutes because they want to play in a specific song. How Great You Are, The Lonely Shepherd. There are many people that contact me asking me for specific songs that might be in different keys. So since they are beginners, it is a little bit difficult for them to play and tilt it. So it is better if you it is easier if you can change the tuning to the specific key and play the song you want. Eventually you're going to learn to play tilting your pan flute. But yes, so those are the basics of how to tune your pan flute. I'm going to be posting some more videos on my YouTube channel and on my blog of how to take care of your pan flute, how to use the oil, and some other tricks that might be useful for you to learn how to play. Thank you again for buying, and please, if you have any question about your pan flute, if you need advice on something, please contact me. I will try to respond as soon as possible. Thank you.